Hello everyone, and welcome to another cast brought to you by Team Cheese Factory. Today I'm going to illustrate what the Korean all-in 4-gate looks like after the 1.3.3 patch. One of the forums declared it to be dead, but I want to show with a slight modification how it can be effective in certain matchups against certain builds. So I'm doing a self-cast. My name is TCF Nick. I'm spawning as Protoss and Metalopolis. My opponent is ZL Silent, a Terran player. He's a low to mid Masters level player. He's going to be doing a 1-1-1 build if I'm not mistaken. In this case, for the Korean all-in warp gate, one of the hallmarks of this is that a pylon and gateway are built at 10 control to try and get warp tech out as soon as possible. After the 10 pylon, what I'm doing is scouting with my probe, trying to find him and see if he's going for early pressure, like a 2 racks build or maybe a 3 racks, because the Korean all-in 4 gate definitely doesn't work against that. So I'm taking a little bit of a risk and sacrificing some economy to get my gateway up at 10 control. As soon as I have 50 minerals, I'll be building another probe. We're having a little bit of conversation. He's asking what TCF means. So, as you can see, we're both scouting at this point. The Terran player built a single supply depot and sent his probe out in a clockwise fashion. I sent an SCV out in a clockwise fashion. I sent my probe out counterclockwise, so we'll be scouting each other last, but I see him as I jump up into this base. I'm building a gas at 13. It's not too critical exactly when the gas gets done because we'll be pulling probes from that gas before we need it. One of the differences in my PVT Korean all-in 4 gate is that instead of pulling all my probes at 50 gas when I have just enough gas for warp tech, I keep them in there for another 100 gas in order to build 2 stalkers. So again, I'm building my cybernetics core as soon as possible at 15 supply. I'm mining gas with 3 probes and scouting his base. I'm just looking to see if there's another barracks or how many gas are in this base. I see 1 gas, indicating pretty standard play, either a 3 racks or a 1-1-1 build. I'm hoping for the latter. Now that my cybernetics core is almost done, what I'd normally do is burn my first chrono on the 9 probe, and what that does is it starts at about when the probe's at 9.5, or about half complete. It finishes through the 9th and 10th probes, and then half the chrono boost is wasted, just because I'm supply blocked at that point. And then I'll generally burn another chrono as soon as my pylon finishes and I start a second probe. My adjustment for the 1.3.3 patch is that I no longer burn that second probe on my Nexus, or that second chrono on my Nexus. I put every chrono after the first on my cybernetics core. And because of the increased length and warp gate research, I don't have to be exact about hitting it every single time, and I can still use all my chronos. So I'm building 4 gateways as soon as I can. I'm banking an extra 100 gas, which I've done here. I've got 106. I made a slight mistake here. Building 4 gateways, which the Terran player does see, and he should know what's coming. It's a little awkward with the pylons being smaller in terms of range, where I have to place my buildings when I only have 1 pylon in base. So I threw a second one there, just to be safe, in case I lost this probe up here, which was found. And now I'm going to build an initial pylon a little bit away from their base so that I can get my first wave up. And my second wave will be the one that warps into the base. You'll notice that in a lot of Korean all-in 4 gates, the idea is to get pylons in the base before they can be destroyed and just start warping in zealots around the mineral line. Against Terrans, this is impractical because of how easy it is to snipe probes. Take a look at his view. The Terran player sees nothing right now. Little does he know. Well, anyway, the idea with the Korean all-in 4 gate against Terran is that you're going to use the 2 stalkers to shoot up the ramp and then warp in over the ramp. So there's 1 bunker going up. What I'm going to do is just try to get vision, throw some zealots up here. The placement of these pylons is a little bit more awkward than I was expecting in this range. But the idea is that I'm picking at the bunker, keeping him distracted, and then sending zealots to his mineral line. Then I'm going to try and get him to clear the bunker and go and re-attack him. So while he's spending time fighting, I can just start storming up his ramp, usually with 2 stalkers. I missed microed and lost 1 of 2 stalkers, but it won't matter. Just as long as he can't fight my unit, definitely. So now I'm sending zealots up the ramp. I'm going to try and cut him off. kill that and then run at his marine line. I'm losing units pretty fast right now. I think he has a critical mass, so what I have to do is sit back until I have enough zealots to really split them up and still do damage. So I run away and build another wave. Now the Terran player is a little flustered. He's built one Hellion and hasn't really done anything out of his starport. He's banked a lot of minerals, but this happens at all but the highest levels of play. So you can count on pressure, flustering, and causing your opponent to make mistakes. So he's going to pick off this pylon here, which is why I always have to build two overseeing the ramp, usually in different spots. Another reason for that is that if a bunker is skewed to one side, I can warp in on the side where the bunker isn't. So I'm waiting until I get another wave ready, queued up on my warp tech research. You can see I've lost a lot of units. He hasn't lost anything yet, but now is where I believe I have critical mass. Bunker's almost dead. His units are injured. And he really doesn't have anywhere to go. So I stormed in. I was kind of stuck. The Hellion's not going to kite for long. He could micro it much better, though. And I'm in his mineral lines, protecting his SCVs. And that's pretty much it. So as you can see, this build is still effective in certain cases, in PvTs, among other matchups, and could be broken out into tournament and still used effectively. So thanks everyone for watching. Hope you appreciated it. Look forward to more videos in the future.